Introducing myself, right?
Rumor has it. That's
Okay.
right.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you happen to be. Hi, Ganat. Hi, Sheldon. Hi, everybody else. Thank you all for having me here. It's my pleasure. I welcome this greatly. So I've been playing with macrobiotics for about 50 years now, and I consider it a game. I consider life a game, and I consider we should all have fun. And macrobiotics is all encompassing to make it so we could have fun in so many different ways. And my background is I went to a cooking class in Manhattan in 1970. A friend of mine who was going to college upstate New York, and Michelle Abacera, who a lot of you might know, was living there at the time. And he was teaching macrobiotics in upstate New York in Binghamton, New York. And so he was one of the first teachers that I ever had. So it's a great introduction to have somebody who had such a zest for life and say, hey, macrobiotics is not just studying, education, but to be a person, to be a live person, to be a human being, to be a mensch, as we like to call it. And so I got a good introduction with that. And I took to it, right away. It made sense to me philosophically. I resonated with it. And I decided this is for me. I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And I've stuck with it, actually. And in the very beginning, when my parents said, what are you doing? You're getting into this lifestyle, bizarre lifestyle. Why are you doing this? What happens when you're having children? And I said to my parents, because I want to have children is why I'm doing this. I want my children to grow up to a wonderful world. I want my children to be able to play with other kids that are not sick, that have a nice attitude on life, that are healthy and happy, and play all the time. So it's because of my children, because of the future, and now my grandchildren, is why I've been doing this all this time, and how I like to think I go around trying to spread the word. That's been my mission in life, to go around spreading happiness, love and happiness and wellness. And I think they're all combined, obviously. So as I said, I was very fortunate. Michelle Abacera is one of my first teachers. And within the first year, I met up with Michio Kushi and I met up with Herman Ihara. So I had the big three right away within the first year. So how could you not be infused with this energy to go on and do other great things after that? And I started doing seminars right away. Maybe my second year into macrobiotics, I started organizing seminars in my spare time, because at the time I had a big natural food store as well. So I was doing a natural food store and I was doing seminars, bringing speakers from all over the country, bringing them in the beginning to Miami Beach. We used to take over different hotels and have people come there and do 3-day programs, weekends. Then we started doing week programs. Then we started doing it in the mountains of Colorado. We started doing it in Palm Springs, California, San Francisco, because other people liked what I was doing. They said, can you help us do this and do that? And I was more than willing. I say yes to everything, right? So, matter of fact, one of the dear friends of mine, and he was always busy doing a magazine, and he said to me one day, he said, Sandy, I want you to help me with a magazine. I said, I'm so busy. He said, my father told me, go with the busy person, because he's going to get things done. And if he's going to be busy all the time, that means he knows how to get things done. He knows how to organize it. Now, I'm not taking any credit to how to organize things, but I'm very good at attracting wonderful people around me. And that's part of the talk today, right? It's what do we attract? How do we take responsibility for what we're doing? And I'm very fortunate that I attract wonderful people that are similar, that have a similar mission that I have, to bring happiness and peace to the world. We like to say one peaceful world. We like to say everybody to be happy. There's no reason why we can't get along and everybody should be happy all the time. So that's what that's my life's philosophy, is getting along with everybody, and you attract people around you. And it happens. You say to yourself, why does it happen? It happens because we chew really well. I should make a joke out of that. We think positive thoughts. We take responsibility for making sure that things are going to happen. Can't blame it. I told Ganam when she was asking me the titles, we're not putting any blame. I take away blame. Blame doesn't count with me. And we got to take responsibility. We're here. We're human beings. We're born on this earth. And it's up to us to make our future what we want to be. and I'm deciding what I want to be when I grow up. And one day when I grow up and I decide I want to be this guy that goes around meeting with people, smiling and telling everybody, hey, this is what we want to do. That's what I want to do. So in the meantime, in my spare time of doing educational seminars, I started a miso company in North Carolina, which is now probably one of the largest miso companies in the world. They have organic miso. It's Miso Master. I started that with a person who came to a cooking class at my house, and he was very much into miso. So there's the whole thing about attracting different people. He worked for me, and he said to me, Sandy, he's worked for me a couple of years. He said, I like working for you, but this isn't my life's goal. I want to do other things. So John Bellamy, he said, I said, what do you want to do, John? He says, maybe we can make miso. And I said, okay, I'll put together the group. I'll attract the other people to help put the money together, to help put the whole package together. And that's what we did. We started a miso company that's now been in existence for about 30 years, probably. We started a seitan company. We started doing other educational seminars. And that's what it is. You put yourself out there to attract positive things. I raised 5 children, and I take the responsibility of them. And I say this up front. My kids sometimes cringe when I say this in public, but I never had health insurance. So I raised 5 children, no health insurance, and I never had health insurance. And everybody said to me, how could you have no health insurance with raising children in this day and age? And that comes back to taking the responsibility. Either I don't want to support something I don't believe in. I don't want to give money and power to insurance companies or the medical community, even though, of course, we need the medical community. Sometimes we need them. That's fine. But my children grew up without any kind of insurance. I grew up without any insurance forever, to this day, whatever it is on it. And so one day I'm in the store, and this woman comes over to me, and she says to me, are you Amber's dad? Now, Amber at that time is maybe 3 or 4 years old. And she says, my daughter goes to school in preschool with your daughter. And she told my daughter that she doesn't have to get sick if she eats the way she eats. This is my 3 and 4-year-old daughter at the time, right? And I became lifelong friends with these people. And I started doing these other seminars in Miami. In the park, we used to call it Taste of Health. You always hear of Taste of Chicago, Taste of New York, Taste of London, whatever it is, where the people do these food things. Well, I did it with Taste of Health, which is all natural foods. And it turns out the father of this little 3-year-old girl was the president of one of the biggest radio stations in Miami, and he supported our efforts to do that. So you never know where it's going to come, how you attract people, how good things happen to you. And it's really great. It's really great to be out there, to try to put it out there. But the number one problem with macrobiotic people such as myself, and I say this in all modesty, is our arrogance. So we have to, number one, learn that we're very arrogant, and we have to be much more humble. And it's all of us. We all think we know everything because of macrobiotics. So many people so many times say, oh, you don't have to worry about this, you don't have to worry about that, you eat macrobiotic. It's not true all the time, obviously. And it's not just physical. So I want to make sure everybody understands. Too many people think macrobiotics is just about the physical well-being. Trust me, it's more than that. It's spiritual well-being, it's emotional well-being, and you attract certain things. You attract, or you get into problems. You get divorced. Obviously, if you're macrobiotic, supposed to live a peaceful, long, wonderful life for the rest of your life. And guess what? You get divorced even sometimes. So sometimes you attract things that aren't so perfectly balanced that you think you found the right person, but it's not always that way. About 6-7 years ago, I was riding my bike in the mountains of Aspen, Colorado, and I crashed. And I broke my femur bone. It's the first bone I think I broke in my life. And I say, it's a very humbling experience, but I recovered really great and everything like that. But every so often you need a wake-up call. You got to get hit in the head. You get hit in the head, whether physically, some illness or sickness comes your way. You get hit in the head because of a relationship that you thought was so wonderful, and all of a sudden it's not so wonderful anymore. But that's a learning. It's all learning, right? We're all on the path. And as one of us, as we discussed just beforehand, one of my favorite expressions is better than, right? So it's never going to be perfect. We're all reaching for nirvana. We all want to be the best we can. And all the time, we're always doing better than. So even if you're having a partner that's eating a steak and with potatoes, and maybe they start eating brown rice with the steak, it's better than having the potatoes. And then maybe each day they get better and better, and they encompass and bring more things into their life. And that's what we want to do. Every single day of our life, we want to try to better ourselves as human beings, better ourselves to everybody else, to our family, to our friends, and the expression then to our neighborhood, then to our state, to our cities, and to the world. We want to make things better and better all the time. And hopefully that's what's happening. And hopefully I'm going to see it in my lifetime where everybody is going to have peace on earth everywhere. I'm looking forward to it. I welcome it. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not have everybody get along, right? I used to have friends of mine, it's never going to happen, but why limit ourselves to think that it won't happen? So, but what we were going to talk about today is taking personal responsibility, right? And this is very, very, very important. Not to do the blame game, right? Not to do the thing where if you get sick where you say, I caught it in the elevator. I used to have people say, I caught a cold. The person next to me had a fever or a cold. And I used to laugh at them. And I didn't laugh at them out loud, but to myself, and people used to say, I caught it from somebody else. Well, you don't catch it from anybody else. So here's the expression I want you to go home with today, if anything else. Either you make yourself a welcome host or an unwelcome host, whether it's disease, to happiness, to everything in your life. You make a welcome host, you make your immune system where it's strong, where it doesn't matter what's going around you. If you got a really good immune system, so what? The people around you are sick. Or if you want to make yourself an unwelcome host of disease, then you screw around with your diet, you screw around with your thoughts, you screw around with negativity. So it's up to you which one you want to be. So you choose. If you're going to leave with anything here, you decide today you're going to be a welcome host or an unwelcome host. And it's not just a disease. I said, yes, it's disease physically, mentally, spiritually. It's all together. I've always laughed over the years when people tell me, well, I read in this book, I'm taking this food from my elbow or something like that, or my leg. And I used to say, really? I don't know how it goes into your mouth. And all of a sudden it decides it's going to go just to your elbow as it goes to some other place in your body. I haven't figured that one out yet. Maybe somebody out there knows how to tell me how to do that. But when you go into your mouth here, your whole body, we're one, right? We're one organism, one body, and it works like, hopefully you have it like well-oiled machine, as we say. We don't abuse our body. And one of the other things that our dear macrobiotic friends, myself included, and I'm a late bloomer in that, you got to exercise. People forgot to exercise. Too many macrobiotic people, it's just here. We forgot the rest of the body. We got to keep the body moving and keep it going and attract things and breathe and have energy and air, So I consider myself a late bloomer all the way. I go to the gym all the time, almost every day. I bicycle ride, I do stuff. You got to do stuff. Be active. Be active. I don't care what you do. No excuses. Remember that? No excuses, right? You can't say I have no time. I'm busy. Forget you're busy. It's all priorities in life, right? Priorities. That's another key word. Priorities in life. Don't say you don't have time to cook, because you certainly have time to sit in the doctor's office for 2 hours if you get sick, right? So how come you have time for that? So no excuses. Ready? No excuses. Welcome host, unwelcome host. Remember those things? Better than? These are the things here today. So take your time, prioritize. Prioritize, you want to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy. And you want to surround yourself with happy people because the energy is great. You could energize from other people. You surround yourself with other people, and I call it a contact high. You get a contact high by being around other people. I put on this, some people know me as the cruise guy, right? Because I put on these seminars on these big boats, and there's like 2,000 people. And I say to myself, people say to me, Sandy, you're busy all the time, what do you get? I said, I get a contact high. I'm the happiest, I'm higher level than anybody on the cruise ship. I'm flying in the clouds. Everybody else is happy. Everybody else having a good time. I'm having a good time. So you want to put yourself out that you want to have a good time, have everybody else around you have a good time, and it rubs off on you. Okay? Does anybody not like that idea, or anybody want to disagree with that? I don't know. Then you got to question yourself what you want to do. All right, we want to keep going. So let's keep trying that all the time, better than happiness, happiness and better than, right? That's what we want to do. And also, we got to cook, right? Even guys, too many times in macrobiotics, it was always made like the women do the cooking and the men don't do the cooking. And that's pretty silly kind of concept because the men, us guys, we have to fend for ourselves more than on an occasion. And I know many times when I was doing consultations, husband and wife would come in and the husband had serious cancer, right? And the wife would, husband, I say to him, you got to cook this and you got to do this. I'm giving all these dietary advice. And the wife would say out loud in front of the husband, well, who's doing all that cooking all these hours a day? Because she's not buying into that. So basically she's saying, my next husband I'm going to deal with it because this guy has no chance because he doesn't know how to cook at all. He's never done anything, maybe boiled water. And I'm giving him stuff that's totally like Greek to him or Japanese to him or Chinese to him. But he never heard of any of these terms. And there's no way he's ever going in the kitchen. So guys out there, you got to learn how to cook, even if not for you, to fend for yourself, you got to make sure you got to cook, even if it's the simplest thing. And simple's fine. There's nothing wrong with simple cooking, right? You know how to make boiled rice. You know how to make miso soup. And by the way, one of the best miso soups I ever had in my life, Sheldon right there. He makes the best miso soup, by the way. I was a guest of Gannat Sheldon in Jerusalem many years ago, and I looked forward to Sheldon's miso soup every morning. He's the best. So I make miso soup every day too, but I got to admit, Sheldon's not as good as yours. So anytime you're in the neighborhood, I welcome your miso soup. So we got to have miso soup.
Thank you. He's famous in the Middle East.
Okay, good. Well, he's famous in North America also now. Because of the time difference, by the way, when you're saying where are all the people from who are listening to this, I have a mailing list, probably 100,000 people that follow us and what we're doing. And because of the time difference, the people, especially on the East Coast, it's 8 o'clock. In California, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. They weren't going to listen at 5 o'clock in the morning. So we decided we're going to e-blast everybody next week in the recording out and make like it's a fresh new thing. And we're going to send it out to 100,000 people next week. So hopefully people will get the message of what's going on here and maybe pick up a point here and there, which is okay, And you know what? Even if you reach one person, 10 people, you don't know what the influence that that person's going to have. Like I said earlier, to the head of that radio station. You never know. You never know who it's going to resonate with. And he's going to take it somewhere and he's going to start a business that's going to change, if not other people around him, maybe the world, maybe, who knows? There's no reason to limit us, right? We never want to limit ourselves in anything that's possible, right? Matter of fact, one of the, never got published, but Michel Abessere, one of the books he was working on, or maybe something got published in Ray, was called The Possible Man or The Impossible Man, that anything is possible, right? So we got to remember that everything is possible. And especially, we learned that in macrobiotics, when it comes to illness, we come across so many people that come in our door in stretchers and comas and broken stage 10 cancer, whatever it is on it. And they walk out, maybe not immediately, 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, they walk out and they're cured. And they say, was you help? I didn't help. They helped themselves. You got to remember, you got yourself in that situation, you could change that situation. You got yourself sick, you could make it so you don't get yourself sick, right? Remember that responsibility part in the very beginning, right? And you could say, I'm going to leave it to the doctor, he's going to zap me with chemotherapy, which is fine. We accept any help we can get all the time, but we got to be willing to help ourselves. Foremost, we as individuals have to help ourselves. We have to love ourselves enough that we think we're worth it, that we think we're worth it as a human being to be on this planet to help. And the birds and the bees and the iguanas and the crocodiles, They all help themselves, right? We're just one part of nature there. And one of the things about macrobiotics, we're part of that whole nature. We're part of this whole environment. We're not separate. Macrobiotic people aren't separate from anybody. We're part of this. We have to help everything. We have to help with the environment. We just can't be in our little box and think it's just about food. It's just about chewing, just about brown rice. It's more than that. And that's what we have to do. So we're taking the responsibility to make sure every single day I tell people, sing a song every day, laugh every day, sing in the shower. I don't care if you don't sing outside, sing in the shower every day. Have some kind of positivity in your life. Do some kind of spiritual practice, whether it's meditation, whether it's prayers, yoga, whatever you like. There is no one answer. There's no one right answer for everybody. You got to find out for you. Take that responsibility to find out what's right for you and follow your dream, follow it and see. And sometimes you go, as I said, you go forward 3 steps, you go backwards 3 steps, 2 steps. The next day you go a little bit better. Next day you go sideways, upwards, whatever it is. We're always trying to find a better than situation. Always improving, always improving. And even if you're not improved, so what? It's a lesson, it's a life's lesson, right? Nothing wrong with a life lesson that maybe a year from now you remember it. I know some people, they come to see me and I know they're not going to do it. I could tell, but maybe 5 years down the road, something's going to happen to them. They say, you know, that crazy guy in that house that day, he told me I should be chewing brown rice and I should be doing that. And he's desperate enough, he's going to do it. And that's what we do. So we got to put out the seeds. We plant the seeds everywhere. Plant the seeds everywhere to set ourselves up, be happy people, to be being people that want to be loved by everybody, love everybody back, and have the world love all around us, right? And I say that. So I do this cruise with 2,000 people, and I have a staff of maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 people, whatever it is on it. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them do it because of the love that they want to support what I'm doing, because they, not that I'm doing, but they like, you know what, they like what I'm doing. They say, you know what, I'd like to buy into that. I like to help people feel happy and healthy. I want to have people be around me to be loving. And they might take off from work. They do their vacation to come on to volunteer to help with this mission, this global mission that we want to get people happy. And so many people send me emails all the time. Sandy, it's the best week of my life. You've changed my life. Or what you've done, you've changed my family. And that's what it's about. That's what we want to do. We want to change families. We try to change individuals. I get notes from people. This father writes me a note. He says, I say my prayers every night. He says, you're in my prayers because what you've done for my children. I've seen my daughters change. I've seen my daughters create different things in their life. And how could you beat that? You know, so there's my contact high again. I got a woman from Texas a bunch of years ago. I got a check in the mail, and I don't know the person at all. She gave me a check. She said, Andy, in my church, we believe in tithing. And I'm sending you this check because what you do so impacted my life that I want you to keep going. I want to give you encouragement to keep going. And I've got encouragement to keep going what I'm doing. And use the check however you want. And over the years, I've started many nonprofit foundations, and that's what I do. My job is to spread the word on it. I started the Macrobiotic Foundation of Florida. I started a bunch of macrobiotic centers around the state of Florida, in Orlando and Jacksonville and Tallahassee and different places to people to teach macrobiotics. I started when people come over to me and they said they want to do a seminar in Michigan or whatever it is on it, and I helped them put together an outdoor event in Michigan. As I said before, we did it in Palm Springs, California. That wasn't my idea. Person came to the seminars that we were doing. He says, you know what, I like what you're doing. Can you help me do this in Palm Springs? And now it's another California. So that's what we do. We go around teaching people, not teaching, but putting ourselves out there that let's be happy. Let's try to spread the word. Let's try to have playmates all the time, other people to play with. The more we want everybody to be playmates, right? We want to play all the time. We want to laugh. And even if people get sick, you know what? You embrace that also. You can't say, sit there if you get sick and you sit there, oh my God, I'm sick. You know what? You got to accept the sickness. You got to embrace the sickness. I got sick. So dumb that I was. I got sick. Now let's get unsick, right? Let's do that. So let's do it. Let's do it with love and with a smile. And most of the time, hopefully it works. And if it doesn't work, so what? It's a journey. It's all a journey, right? You got to look at it. They're all on a path. And even if you go sideways, as I said before, there's no one that I know of that only gets happiness 24/7. Doesn't work like that, right? Every once in a while we go, oh, really? It didn't work out for me, whatever it is on it. But hopefully you put yourself out there that could be happy most of the time, or more and more, better and better and better and better. And then you attract, if you're a woman, you want to attract a man in your life, you attract somebody that's going to do that. Your man that wants a woman, you attract that. Your woman wants a woman, man wants a man, whatever it is, you want to attract that person that's going to bring happiness to your life, right? Isn't that what we're trying to do? We want to attract that partner that we could resonate with. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, thank you very much. You know, I remember a bunch of years ago, I had this girlfriend for 2 years and we had a wonderful relationship. And she time to move on. And people said to me, and I said, you know, isn't it terrible? I said, no, it's not terrible. I had 2 wonderful years. How could you not say that's wonderful? She taught me so many things, and we taught each other so many things. So now I'm a better person for the next relationship I'm going to have. Every time I do that, and I don't want to make like I have so many relationships, but every time you're with somebody, you want to learn and bring positivity into that relationship, right? And my kids are my best teachers with that. And my son, he tells me all the time, Dad, you don't really understand macrobiotics. I understand macrobiotics better than you do. And I said, I hope you're right, because that's what we want to do. As teachers of macrobiotics, we want always the students to be smarter than we are. We want everybody that's in our classes to go out there and teach us a lesson every single day. Every single day. We got to learn all the time. One of the best lessons I learned, I was with Michio Kushi one day, and he gave this lecture, and it blew me out. And I said to Michio, is this something new that you found out about and discovered? He started laughing at me. He said, Sandy, I've been teaching this for years and years. You weren't ready to hear it yet. So when you're ready to hear it, when you're ready to embrace it, then it'll happen. And the same way with teachers, whether it's a teacher as a student, as a girlfriend, as a cooking teacher, they're there doing these beautiful things. You happen to be ready to embrace it. You happen to be ready. You have to hear it. You have to want to hear it. You have to have your heart, your mind, your brain, your spirituality, your emotions be ready to embrace whatever that other person's there. Not to be closed-minded, not to be stubborn, not to think, what could this person teach me? There's always you can learn from everybody. Trust me, everybody. Life lessons are there every single day. And we just have to be open to hearing them, right? And the kids, especially in this day and age, people yelling at each other and fighting with each other. I laugh at everybody. I said, how could you do that? You gotta still love each other. I don't care what their views are and this and that. We're still human beings, right? We're still human beings. I remember I was in San Diego, and I'm sitting on a park bench on a Sunday right after the last presidential election in the United States. And it was a gorgeous day. And I said to this lady, isn't it a beautiful day? Look at it. The sun is shining, how wonderful it is. She said to me, how could you say it's a beautiful day? Look what just happened in the presidential election. And I said to the lady, are you going to be negative for the next 4 years of your life? Is this how you're going to embrace life? Is this your attitude going to be? Stop it. Stop it. Any of you out there, stop it. You can't be, negativity can't be positive. It changes you. It changes your blood. So many people, when they get sick, is because of their thoughts. You don't want to have any negative energy in your body. Positivity all the time, 24/7 if you can. If not, 23 hours a day or 10 hours a day, tomorrow 11 hours a day, whatever it is, positivity. Because sickness comes from our thinking as well as physical. So we have to think positive. We have to think very, very positive, loving thoughts. Our body, our kidneys, everything we have in our body can be positive to help us get better and better. Our kidneys are not made out of cast iron, you know? People think I could do whatever I want. I could abuse my kidneys. I could abuse my intestines. Sorry, guys, it doesn't work that way. They're organs. They're very delicate. If you treat your kidneys right, your kidneys are going to treat you right. You treat your intestines right by putting nice food in there and you chew really well so you don't have to work so hard, right? Taking the responsibility right here. Digestion starts right here. Key to digestion is right here. Chew your food really well. Liquefy when it goes down into your body. And then your kidneys and your intestines. Oh, thank you very much, Sandy. Thank you, Gennad. I really appreciate this teamwork we have together. You're going to help me and I'm going to help you. And this way I won't break down, right? We don't want any organs to break down. So we have to help. Can't just shove anything we want in our bodies. And people say to me, well, you know, you put anything, whether people eat meat or whether they eat chicken or they eat dairy products, the body doesn't know how to handle it. Of course, it handles it, but it works over time. And after the first year, I used to kid around with people. I used to do the statistics. Say if your kidneys, if you pee out 8 times a day, as opposed to some people do 20 or 30 times a day, in the course of a year, it's thousands of times more your kidneys work. In the course of a lifetime, it's hundreds of thousands of times you're abusing your kidneys. They don't have to work so hard. So give your organs a break. Give your mind a break. Let your mind be empty. Let your mind be beginner's mind all the time, learning from anybody and everything around you, right? If you hear somebody say something, you say, wow, I never looked at it that way before. You're allowed to say that. You're allowed to be humble and say that. You're allowed to give you permission to say, I learned something new today. Isn't that wonderful? And we always, always, always can learn all the time. Just look around us and look around at all the animals around you, look around the other people. I don't care if it's dressing, I don't care if it's a hairdo, I don't care if it's makeup. So what? We learn from everybody all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to, we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. You know, the wheel is there already, right? Macrobiotics is there already. We just got to embrace it. And we have to embrace other people and learn from each other. You know, there's the expression, you know, we're brothers and sisters. We truly are brothers and sisters on this planet, right? We're here on the universe. We didn't, you know, I used to laugh when you used to see these war movies. I'm sure all of us have seen war movies where somebody's praying to their God here, somebody's there praying God here, I should win this one and this side should win. Come on, we're all praying to get better all the time. We're praying to this universe. This universe is for all of us. It's not just one side or the other. We could make ourselves better though. We could attract ourselves to be better. And that's our responsibility. So taking responsibility all the time, mental, physical, spiritual, right? Let's do that. And ready to hear it. Be open and ready to hear it. And I used to say, people used to tell me, you know, once in a while, and I don't know, maybe where you live, you never run a red light or you ever got caught for a traffic accident or you got a ticket or something like that. I had a speeding ticket. Am I going to sit there and get mad at the cop because he gave me a speeding ticket? Or do I say to myself, how many hundreds of times did I get away with speeding and I didn't get a ticket, right? So many people, they curse out the cop or they curse out the parking meter. Give me a break, everybody. You know you've all screwed up in plenty of times. Are we going to put blame on everybody else all the time? As opposed to saying, uh-oh, I got caught this time. It's okay to get caught, right? You're allowed to get caught in life and hopefully you learn from the lesson. So I use the red light lesson. I use the elevator lesson that we get. You know, people, I go on elevators and people say, you can't hug me, or I got a cold and so I hug everybody, right? Even in this day and age, I'm willing to hug everybody. So if you're close to me, if you're not, I'm giving you a virtual hug over the internet right now. It's okay. Because I'd like to think that we make ourselves strong. And I'm going to give everybody my hint of that. Every single day without fail, I have miso soup because I want my immune system to be strong. And my key to all of my health is my immune system. And I want to have my miso soup. I want to put some seaweed in there. I want to put shiitake mushrooms in there. I want to put other vegetables in there. I want to make it a power breakfast. And every day, since this pandemic has started, I don't miss a day. or I have miso soup. And people say to me, well, how could you make it every day? You know what? You don't have to make it necessarily fresh every day. You could, if you can, it's great. There's the better than concept coming in. If you can make it every day, you're my hero. That's great that you do that. But if you can't make it every day, make the vegetable stock every day. Have the stock every day, at least enough for a couple of days. And then you can add the fresh greens and the miso each day, right? So that's part of the thing that we learn. And it's, as I say, it's a better than situation than to say, I can't have miso. I don't have the time. Forget this not having the time. It doesn't, you don't get no sympathy from me at all on anything in your life that you say you don't have the time, right? So always, always, always remember you have the time. And the other thing is getting back to our taking responsibility. I know some people say I can't eat chickpeas because it gives me gas. I'm using chickpeas as an example. Not chickpeas, garbanzo beans. God gave us these beautiful chickpeas, wonderful bean, and they grow for everybody. And we say we have gas. Is it the chickpeas fault or is our digestive system not so healthy, right? So we have to decide to say, we have to get our digestive system stronger. Don't blame it on the chickpeas. Don't blame it on this other kind of bean. Let's get ourselves stronger and better all the time, right? Every single day, we want to get better and better all the time. Now, let's remember this. I don't care. We have children, right? We keep saying about children. Children's our future, right? We could say we're here, we're doing all this stuff right now, but our children is really what's before us. And we want to teach our children. And I was very fortunate. As I said, I raised the 5 children, and fortunately from birth. So they didn't know anything else, basically. They knew we gave them miso soup and mochi and brown rice and this and that right from the very beginning. And they knew that. And I used to make lunches for them every day. And I was the lunch maker in the house, right? And I used to give them, macrobiotic, whether rice balls or tofu sandwiches or stuff like that for lunch. And when my kids, they tell me afterwards, Dad, you don't understand what you put us through, that we used to have to explain ourselves when we were bringing these lunches and everybody was looking at us. But you know what? Thank God they're all great today. They're all maybe not as strict as Dad, because Dad's the strictest one that he knows, but they're pretty good. And I have these grandkids that are eating really, really well. And whatever it is, so whatever foundation you do, that's what you want to do for the children, right? As much as possible, we want our foundation and our children be better and better and better all the time. And keep going on, keep spreading the word. And keep all the time, never, never, never lose our focus that we want to be happy. Happiness is where it's at. Happiness. Who here doesn't want to be happy? Anybody want to raise their hand? They don't want to embrace happiness? I have seen some people, though, during consultations that didn't want to live. And it was sad. And I would say to them, I think I want to live more than you want to live. I want you to get better more than you want to get better for yourself. So don't you want to live? Don't you want to? And what I do with people, and this is my secret. I'm not a great person who gives people, lotus fruit and 2 tablespoons of this, 2 tablespoons of that. That's not my calling. My calling is to challenge them on their life, to say, do you want to dance at your children's wedding? Do you want to see your son get bar mitzvah? Do you want to see great grandchildren? Do you want to go to college? Do you want to this, that, right? This is what you want to get them. You want to hit them with it emotionally. They want to fight for their lives because everybody wants to see that. Everybody, I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're dying. They cry in front of me. It's okay to cry in front of me. I embrace it all. I just want to get them to the point that they want to fight for their life. I saw a family one time, and the daughter, who was like 8 years old, cancer, very serious case of cancer. And the whole family came, the husband, the father, the mother, and the other children. And the father says to me, well, we could feed her that every day. I said, you don't get it. You don't get it. You can't just feed her every day. This is an 8 or 9-year-old daughter of yours. You're going to have her eat this macrobiotic food there, and the rest of the family is going to sit there and eat steak and pizzas in front of her. And you think that's a loving, supportive family? No, It doesn't work that way. So you had this child, you brought this child into the world. You want to take some of this responsibility. Part of the responsibility is to help her get better. Then you as a father, you as the head of this household and the mother, you got to take that responsibility to eat with her. This way she's going to embrace it and she's going to think it's okay and she's going to get better. So these are the things we have to do. And it's okay to call people out. And it's okay to call me out anytime you want. You're allowed to call me out on anything you want. Say, Sandy, forget that nonsense. Or you see me face to face. I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you believe that. It's okay. I accept it all. And hopefully I learn. Every so often I learn from everybody. And we all learn from everybody, you know? So please remember, always better than. Welcome host, unwelcome host. We want to have our children. We want to have everybody, the environment. We want to have all the animals around us. We want to have all the trees. We want to have everybody around us smiling at us. We want to go outside every day. Go outside in nature. So many people, they tell me they live in air, especially in Florida, they live in air-conditioned houses, air-conditioned cars. They go to an air-conditioned office. Where's their touch with nature? They don't have it. They wear suits that are not even natural fiber suits, you know? So these are the responsibilities we have to take. We want to be part of nature every single day. And don't tell me you don't have time. That's one of those excuses. After dinner every night, go for a walk. Go for a morning, go for a walk. If you're a single, go for a walk single. If you're a wife, go hold hands, walk around the neighborhood. I don't care where you are. Breathe outside. Look at the stars, look at the moon. My dear friend this morning said, Sandy, did you see the moon last night? How beautiful it was? Embrace the beautiful moon. Embrace the beautiful stars. They're there. It's all beautiful. Nature's beautiful. We want to be part of that beautifulness of life, right? We are part of that. We are. We're all in this. Nature, we are nature. We're just an extension of nature. So remember that. We're not exclusive. Macrobiotics is not kind of exclusive club. Being vegan is not an exclusive club. Being anything you want, I meditate 5 times a day, 5 hours a day, that's not an exclusive club, sorry. You know, it doesn't work. We got to embrace it all. It so happens that I've been vegan for many years now, and people say to me, how could you, macrobiotics, you can't be vegan in macrobiotics. I said, really? Why not? I laugh at them, I say, you don't eat animal products, it's okay, it's still macrobiotic. One's not exclusive to the other one. But so many concepts that people have in their mind, they put it in like little holes, you know, little, here, this box is this one, this box is that one. There are no boxes. We got to think outside the box, right? Isn't that why we got into macrobiotics in the first place? I don't know anybody who got into macrobiotics that doesn't think outside the box. You wouldn't be inside macrobiotics. You wouldn't be embracing macrobiotics. Unless your wife or your husband took you by the neck and took you to a counselor because you were dying of cancer. Yes, okay, those people. Besides that, anybody who embraces macrobiotics is thinking outside the box because it's certainly not the norm. Yes.
So we have a question. Someone is asking a question. How can someone be happy in pain?
You know what? You can be happy. You know what? They try to relieve the pain every single day. If you can embrace your happiness and you meditate on your happiness, then maybe the pain will get less and less. You try to do things to relieve the pain. Where'd the pain come from? Where'd the pain come from? You got to go to the source of the pain. I mean, you might have hurt your leg. So that's what macrobiotics is. Maybe it teaches you to put a compress on or to get the pain better. That's how you embrace the pain. You know that pain can get better and better. If you have to go to a doctor to help you relieve the pain, so be it. You go to a doctor to help relieve the pain. That's the happiness. You know what? I know I'm going to get better. I know that pain's going to go away. If you want to hang on to that pain, it's going to be with you. You can have the ability to say, pain go away, pain, whatever it is, and I'm not sure how you want to say it, how you want to meditate on it, how you want to do it, but you don't have to live with pain. If you decide to live with pain, I'm sorry for you. You got to decide to send me an email, send me a smoke screen, send me something, speak to somebody else in your neighborhood. Look at yourself. Most importantly, look at yourself and say, why do I want to embrace this as my life? You don't have to embrace it as your life. It might be a temporary thing, as I said before. We're not perfect every day. That's the arrogance that we think we could You're perfect every day. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. We get pain. We get sickness. You know what? Macrobiotic people die even. How do you like that? They get cancer. They get cancer and they die. It's okay. But maybe they lived a better quality of life. We're talking about quality of life here. It's not just longevity, it's quality of life. And maybe if you didn't do macrobiotics, you would have died 5 years earlier. I know so many people, I've been around macrobiotics a long time, and I've seen many people die. People die. You know, people die. It happens. You're born and you die. Those are the only two things in the world that you can count on, right? Everything else changes all the time. So try to make it better than, even if it's pain. I don't care what it is. Better than, better than, better than. Any other questions? I'm not sure our time here. I know you said 45 minutes. I go on for stories forever. So you tell me what
Yeah,
you
you're
want.
amazing, Sandy. You're right on time. There is another comment. Sandy, if you are even half as positive as you are presenting right now, you are a gift to humanity. You certainly have me smiling.
Good, that's it. Thank you. That's it. Contact. We want to be able to smile. I consider myself the world's eternal optimist. I'm optimistic. I don't care how bad things are. You want to second that? I third that. All of us, every single day, smile. It's contagious. If you smile around other people, they're going to smile. And then they go around, wow, I'm smiling. And other people say, they're smiling. Isn't it be nice to have people smile? Look at Ganat's big smile right now. How could you beat that? Right? What a beautiful smile. Right? Oh, kisses to you too. Kisses to everybody. And that's right. Smiling and kisses. That's what we should want to do. Love, 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 smiling, love kisses everybody, right? And then, so your partner, yourself, grouchy. I don't need grouchy partners or anything like that, you know? You got to help them out. Forget this grouchiness. Get at it. Go outside, come back in again. Go walk around the block. Go breathe a little bit, right?
A true hippie.
Yeah, okay. Along that note, let me tell you this one. So, a quick hippie story. Those of you, maybe some of you are old enough, or if you're not, you can get the DVD, the Woodstock movie. You know, everybody has heard of Woodstock, right? Well, I happen to be in the movie. I have a speaking part in the movie, and I'm naked. They interviewed me naked, but thank goodness you only see me from the waist up, so you don't get to see anything else. But here I was, and I didn't know about it. Yes, I was, even if I was into macrobiotics, even if I didn't dress like a hippie, I always had the mental attitude of everybody, peace and love. And you know what friends of mine tell me? The biggest thing, this is good friends of mine tell me, the best thing that my generation has brought into this world is the concept of natural foods. Because we, and I consider that people that got in, not myself, but people who got into macrobiotics and natural foods in the 60s and the 70s, that's the most positive thing, because so many other people get mad at our generation that they've done, look what they've done to the world, and we screwed things up, and entitlement, and what's going on with politics. But natural foods has really taken a foothold, and the people who grew up in the 60s and the 70s, that we brought natural foods into the forefront. We brought it up all these natural food stores. We started all these natural food stores everywhere. We started getting people the environment, how to eat healthy, and it's evolved all the time. As I said, you know, macrobiotics for a long time, and then I think I evolved, and that's my personal mission. I evolved a little bit more where I now become vegan and macrobiotic. Same thing, a vegan macrobiotic, call it whatever you want. That's my journey. It's my journey, my path that I'm doing. It's not for everybody. Whenever they want to do it, you jump on the bus whenever you want. Get off the bus whenever you want. That's up to you. You want to be happy all the time? Be happy all the time. You want to be sad? Be sad once in a while.
Sandy, it's just left for me to thank you. It's an amazing trip.
Thank you very much, Kanat. Thank you.
Yeah. It's great.
Well,
any last words, last questions, anything? In that case, all our love.
Sheldon, miso soup. Sheldon, miso soup. Don't abandon me, Sheldon. Love you all. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Sandy.
Bye.
Sheldon, we're waiting for your recipe, Sheldon.
Yeah.